Florida police sergeant who conducted a secret affair with a fellow cop and couldn't stand him marrying someone else has been fired after she surrendered to her department's brass a graphic homemade video of her and her colleague having sex while he was on duty. The 23-second video clearly shows nude Jupiter Police Sergeant Amy Walling, 43, a 20-year veteran of the force, performing oral sex on a groaning man filming the action. Her playmate, who wore a police shirt as his police radio crackled in the background, was identified by police as Sergeant Jason Vansteenburgh, who has also been fired from the Jupiter Police Department, DailyMail.com learned exclusively on Friday. Proving that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, Walling, once one of Florida's highest-ranking female cops, also provided internal affairs with a selfie texted to her by Vansteenburgh where he poses in his full SWAT police uniform and bulletproof vest, with his semi-erect penis sticking out of his pants. He, too, is fighting to keep his job and could be shown the door within days. The sex scandal became even more grotesque, and the talk of the town just north of Palm Beach that's home to NBA legend Michael Jordan and former morning TV host Bryant Gumbel, when Vansteenburgh handed Internal Affairs a photo that Walling texted him. It's taken in her police department office, and she poses with her breasts sticking out of a police shirt. 3 elected members of the town council declined comment. But the town's administration released a statement about its 114-officer force that reads, "The actions of these individuals do not reflect the culture or organizational values of the Jupiter Police Department." The love triangle gone awry mushroomed into a full-fledged sex scandal in the wake of a late-night incident in a popular Jupiter bar in April 2016, where Walling bit 2 fellow law enforcement officers who tried to prevent her from hitting Vansteenburgh. According to the department's own investigation into the incident at the oceanfront Utiki Beach restaurant, Walling sat at a table for several hours as Vansteenburgh was moonlighting as a bouncer. Walling and the 42-year-old Vansteenburgh, according to a 54-page summary of the incident, had been having an on-again, off-again affair while he was engaged to local resident Kathleen Harwood, 41. The affair had at least one unintended consequence. Amy even became pregnant by Jason, said Elizabeth Parker, Walling's attorney, who added Walling lost the baby in September 2015. It was more than just an affair. They had a real relationship. However, Jason apparently was having a lot of other relationships and kept playing with Amy's feelings. One day, he loved her. The next, he didn't. It happens that on the night in question, fiancé Harwood was also at the Utiki, keeping an eye on the man she married in January, according to her marriage license. Walling was drinking heavily with off-duty colleagues. At certain points, Walling was described as agitated. Eventually, Walling confronted both Vansteenburgh and Harwood, according to the investigative report, and got kicked out. Sergeant Walling told Ms. Harwood that she hopes she is happy with him, the report reads, and that he cheats on her. The report reads Harwood then showed off her engagement ring and told Walling, "You see this ring? He does not want to be with you. Don't you understand we are engaged? What about that do you not understand? He loves me." Vansteenburgh had the restaurant manager escort Walling out when she pulled out her cell phone, purportedly to show Harwood the penis photo her texted her. Walling left the property but returned at closing, and waited for Vansteenburgh and Harwood in her grey BMW, parked so close to Vansteenburgh's car that he couldn't open the driver's door. There, in the darkened parking lot, a confrontation degenerated to the point that Walling bit one of her subordinates and another officer in the face while she was being restrained. In time, the report shows she managed to hit Vansteenburgh, but her punch landed on his shoulder. Neither bite victims sought treatment but, according to the paperwork, Walling tried to enter into Vansteenburgh's car as more on-duty cops converged to the parking lot to defuse the situation. They wrestled Walling to the ground, according to the report, as Vansteenburgh and his fiancée peeled off. When he was interviewed by Internal Affairs a few days later, Sergeant Vansteenburgh claimed he was being stalked by Walling. He claimed he saw her car as he went jogging with his fiancée. He said Walling had been watching his house and knocked on his door earlier in the day. Because Harwood was also inside, he refused to open. Walling said she wasn't stalking anyone, just trying to return some of Vansteenburgh's clothes as he was in the process of moving in with Harwood. Until then, Walling had an illustrious career. In 2014, she was promoted to major after her steady rise through the ranks, fueled by a master's degree and qualifications that made her a teacher in several college policing courses. Her last promotion made Walling one of the highest-ranking female cop in Florida. According to a letter from the town administrator, Walling was being groomed to become chief of police. But she then led an investigation into the savage beating death of a Guatemalan immigrant. And when that probe ended, citing the pressures of what was described as one of the worst murders in the town's history, Walling requested to be demoted back to sergeant. What her bosses didn't know at the time is that Walling was also dealing with heartaches off her hot-cold relationship with Vansteenburgh, as well as her pregnancy and loss of the baby.